Don't bother me, I'm busy. Well, I hope that works out for the better for everyone involved. Hello, everyone. It's Saturday. And we got a whole day of reveals coming up. Get my uniform on here. There we go. Now I'm dressed. Dressed to kill. Dressed for the job. Alright, so I got my little magic bag here. Put my eyeballs on my head just in case I need them for anything. And I've got 50 names here. I have a nifty little card here for the winner of the wrapper itself. I've got a roll right here. 1957D, Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh branch of the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland. Alright, so here we go. I'll toss my names in here. You may see me sipping on some coffee. I'm just working on trying to wake up this morning and get myself together. There we go. Everybody's all mixed up in there. Got my freshly washed hands, my freshly warmed up coffee, and I'm ready to go. See if everybody else is ready to go. We only got 6 viewers in here right now, but that's fine. That just means there's a lot of people missing out on this wonderful morning entertainment. The way the weather has been outside, I'd rather be in here sitting next to my little fake fire. That one right there. Got one end opened up. Working on the other end. Got both ends opened up now. Roll the wrapper over the coins just like I usually do. One on my farthest left is going to be coin number 1. It is. It's a cozy day. Alright, here we go. I just wish my dog was in here to enjoy it with me. He decided he didn't want to stay in here this morning. I don't understand why. I'm not really going to argue with him about it. Alright, let me go ahead and draw for coin number 1. Get started right on time. 10 o'clock. Chuck Nickel gets coin number 1. Let's see what's on coin number 1. Got a little bit of toning, a little bit of color here and there. Not seeing anything on the mint mark. Let's see. Oh darn. Got a huge scratch. Looks like it might be a little bit of a doubled eyelid. A huge scrape mark from the counter that counted the coins in the roll. Now, 1957D is very well known for having doubled dies right here in the ERTY of Liberty. Oh, it's just an electric heater blower, and it's just got like a picture of a fire on the front. Okay, so I'm going to hold this one out because it does appear that it could be a minor doubled eyelid, and I'll just have to look at a nicer, cleaner coin on the inside. We're going to look at the reverses on these, even though we're not really expecting to find much of anything on the reverse because there are no double dies known for the reverse of 1957D Lincoln cents. As I've explained this before, we always look at the reverses anyway because that's how things are discovered. That's how new dies are discovered, and it's also the only way that we're going to be able to see striking errors that only show up on one side of the coin. So there's Chuck Nickel's coin number 1. For right now, I'm going to hold it off to the side. It's going to be a mystery coin for the moment. No falling iguana warnings? What's wrong with them? It got down to like 55, 60 degrees in Miami last night, I think. It was, I think, 40, maybe 42 in Tampa. Midnight Silver Run gets coin number 2. Let's take a look at coin number 2. Let's see what we've got for Midnight Silver Run. Looks like the same die again. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's the same die again. And this one does appear to have a minor doubled eyelid. Zoom in and take a good look. 45 where you are. Where are you located, Eric? That is a minor doubled eyelid. So I'll put these off to the side as die number 1 for the day, and we'll put consideration into listing it as a double die later to see if we can get a good image of this. We'll get it listed. Let me find a couple of markers that we can use to determine that other coins are the same as this. There is a die dot to the southeast of the D and some north running die scratches in and around the 1 of the date, as well as the entire obverse has a number of north and south die scratches running throughout. There's a heavy one going up into the Y. Just looking around for markers. Looks like he sneezed. Okay, let's take a look at the reverse and see if we have any errors on the reverse to deal with. Anything to talk about? Any interesting? Yep, nothing there. Okay. So we have Sneezing Lincoln with a doubled eyelid, as it appears. And so far, both of the 2 coins. Hello, Raymond. Oops, I gotta get my nice name in there. I was reading the chat. I was reading what Eric was saying. Where are you located, brother? Sounds like you're not too far away from where I used to live. And they're in South Florida. Alright, Levels of Madness. Levels gets the next one. Hey, Farm Dog. Hey, we got ourselves an RPM. Look at that. Nice double split serif RPM. Got some heavy die scratches running northeast out of the 1/9 of the date. That's going to make us a good marker for this. Northport. Okay. They got iguanas in Northport now? Huh. They're spreading. A little teardrop coming off the bottom of the E. No hub doubling on the obverse. Nothing that I can see right now anyway. Yep. No hub doubling on the obverse. Let me flip it over and take a look at the reverse. Hey, CMUS. Well, we do copper. I definitely do caffeine. I laid off the nicotine a few years ago. I don't do the nicotine anymore. Alright, here we go. It's a nice little RPM there for Levels of Madness. That's going to be our 3rd coin for the day and our 2nd die of the day. See you around, Raymond. Chuck Nickel. Chuck Nickel comes up as the next coin. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is a different die altogether than the 2 we've seen so far. And so far I'm not seeing anything. Let's keep looking. Got nothing there. Nothing there. Let's take a look at the reverse. Completely normal on the reverse. So we have a number of die scratches in the date area, most notably a couple of die scratches trying to make a V underneath the 1/9 of the date. So we'll keep that in mind as we move along. These coins are very nice coins. They're in pretty good shape. And that is our first normal coin out of the roll, coin number 4. Alright. for some reason we have an issue. Having a bit of an issue with my flip inserts. Need something more obvious as a cover. See if I move them up a little bit. That helps. Helps a little bit. Maybe I need to move my whole operation forward a little bit here. Let's see if that helps. Yeah. We'll do it that way. We'll move the whole operation forward like that. Now I can see the numbers on the inserts. What do you know? Alright, Doug Reese gets coin number 5. And coin number 5 is another RPM. Another die number 2 for the day. Die number 2 for the day, RPM. No hub doubling going on there. Let me get these other coins out of the way here. There we go. And that's what we've got. Nice little double split serif RPM. I'm pretty sure this one's going to be a listed one. Let's take a look at the reverse and see if we have any errors on the reverse worth mentioning. Nothing there. Hello, spiked head die crack. So Doug Reese gets our second example of die number 2 for the day. And Joe McBride gets coin number 6. And coin number 6 is another different die altogether. Not seen this one yet. That's a little die scratch coming out of the eye there. It's not headed in the right direction to be an eyelid. Got no other hub doubling. Take a look at the reverse. Got nothing on the reverse on this one. Let's take a look at the obverse again and pick a couple of markers out so that we know when we see other coins from this die. It looks like we've got a lot of north and south die scratches throughout the obverse. We've got a heavier one in the throat around what appears to be a partially to mostly removed clash mark. A lot of heavy north and south die scratches throughout the obverse. So we can take that as our marker. That'll be coin number 6 for Joe McBride. Coin number 7. Coin number 7 is going to come out for Doug Reese. This is Doug Reese's second coin in this roll. We're having a little bit of an issue with lighting here. Let me see what's going on. Seems awfully bright. Of course, these coins are really bright. So there's yet again another different die. This one we're going to call the 5 die scratch. It's got a die scratch running through the left side of the 5 of the date. And nothing else as it appears. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what we come out with on the reverse. And no doubling, no errors on the reverse. So there's yet another die. Makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different dies for this roll so far. And next, I'm trying to get my fingers wrapped around just one piece of cardboard. Sissy Atwell. There we go, Sissy. This one's for you. we have an RPM. No, maybe not. Well, maybe. It does look like a really minor RPM. Let me see here. Turn it around this way. It's got a clash mark running up into the bow tie. That is a split serif on the lower there. It's really minor though. We may or may not be able to list this one. It's got clash marks in the throat. Out in front of the cut. It's out in front of the coat. There we go. There's a nice marker. Big old heavy north and south die scratch above the T of Liberty. Another one out in front of the brow. So we got a die scratch in front of the brow, and another die scratch out in front of the T of above the T of Liberty. We have ourselves die number 3 for the day. Die number 3 for the day will go to Sissy Atwell. First RPM of that die we've seen so far. Let's see who's next. Rudy Alfaro. Rudy Alfaro will take coin number 9. Let's see what we've got. Well, looks like another different die. This one's got the 1-9 die scratch. It's got a 1-9 die scratch and another one over inside the 5. And we have, this is a nice early die state coin here. The die, you can see, has very little, actually no, well, it has just a little bit of discernible wear at the top. So the letters around the top of the design, you can see that wears just little tiny lines running toward the rim from the outside edge of those letters. That makes this an early die state coin. It's within the first 10,000 or so minted from that particular die. And that goes to Rudy Alfaro. Next coin. Next coin goes to Adam Chambers. Adam Chambers will get coin number 10. What do we have for coin number 10? We have it looks normal from here. Looks normal from my house. Let's see what we have going on here. We got 19 people out there watching right now. We've only got 8 likes. That means some people haven't got their coffee yet, and they either don't like me or they haven't figured it out. If you hit that little thumbs up down there and it turns blue, you've liked this video, and that helps me out a whole lot. Makes YouTube stand up and take notice. Hey, this guy's not posting a bunch of junk on his channel. These are actually decent videos. Educational content for the world to absorb. Alright, got ourselves another normal coin. This one's for Adam Chambers. Normal, yes, but in great condition. Alright, Joe McBride gets the next one. See what we come out with for Joe McBride. This is the die scratch through the 5. So this one's going to be a normal coin. No die variety involved. Let's see what we've got going on here. Now, nothing so far on the reverse. Looks like you had a clash at one point in time and it's been removed. But otherwise, we got ourselves a normal coin. Nothing real exciting going on there. That's coin number 11. Let's look for coin number 12. Coin number 12 goes to Adam Chambers. And what do we have here? Don't know if we've seen, I don't think we've seen this one. We're going to call it the minus D because there's a nice big old die scratch over next to the D. It looks like a minus sign. There's nothing else going on with this mint mark though. Just that little minus sign over next to the D. So this is our minus D die. And minus D die does not have a doubled I. It is an earlier die state, early to mid die state. Got nothing on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse. See what we come out with on the reverse. Nice little die, this little bird's nest in the wheat over there. Nice little die break over there, or die chip. It'd have to be bigger to be a die break, Chuck. So here we go. Hello, AZ Coins. Coin Junkie, how are you doing? Adam Chambers gets coin number 12. Now for coin number 13. Coin number 13 goes to Sissy Atwell. Oops. I'll turn it this way. And Sissy gets one of those V under the 1-9. V under the 1-9 turned out to be a normal die. Take a look at the reverse real quick. Alright, nothing there but a big scar. That's coin number 13. Coin number 14 goes to Rudy Alfaro. And Rudy's coin looks like this. What do we have here? It's a little split serif RPM. And a nice little clash mark. That's a strong clash mark there. Don't have anything on the other side for clashing. Does not look like a double die. No doubled eyelid. So we have a clash. And let's say we have a strong die scratch coming straight up out of the 7 for this die. We're going to call this die number 4 for the day. Die number 4 for this roll is a minor RPM. God, how do you people on the left coast over there do it? It's only 7:21 in the morning on the left coast. That is part of the tie in the front. Right there, it's a clash mark. Strong clash mark. Nice strong clash mark on the reverse on this. And nothing else going on. This one will be die number 4 for the day. Goes to Rudy Alfaro. And on to coin number 15. Coin number 15 will go to Paul Hampton. And that's going to be a die scratch through the 5. So we got nothing on this coin, unless it happens to be an error. You're welcome, Sissy. I'm trying to shake things up a little bit. Trying to get some possibility that we might be able to actually get a little more involvement, because people like you can't necessarily get on Tuesday evenings, and Tuesday evenings was the only time I was offering them, and I was only offering them through YouTube. I had some people telling me, hey, you need to broaden your horizons, brother. So I did. Alright, coin number 15 is a normal coin. Hello, JC Will. Seems like half the day's gone already. Steve looking for silver. Yeah, my day's just getting started. I'm going to be up until close to midnight tonight. Okay, we got the V under the 1-9, so this is going to be a normal die. And we are relatively sure now that we have an original roll because we keep running into the same dies over and over again. And that is a very good sign if you're wanting an original roll. Okay, nothing on the reverse. Take coin number 16 out. Put Steve's name in it, and we will move right along to coin number 17. It is 10:25 in the morning. Half the day is almost gone. Eric Beyer. Eric Beyer gets coin number 17, and this is coin number 17. We've got ourselves a double split serif RPM. This one is different from the other. This one's a very different one. No have doubling with this one, but we do have a nice double split serif RPM there. Split upper and split lower. Okay, this one has a die scratch going from the D directly to the rim. And a couple of them headed north out of the 1 of the date. So this one, folks, is going to be die number 5 for the day. We're running into a number of different variety dies here. Die 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start getting confused here because I got 5 different dies I'm trying to remember. Coin number 18, Eric Beyer again. We'll see what Eric gets on this one. Looks like could be a little doubled eyelid going on there. In fact, I think it is a little doubled eyelid, but it's very minor. I'll hold it off to the side. And it's got a nice big die gouge coming south out of the L of Liberty. So I'll hold this off to the side. We'll take a look at it later and see if it's something I can list. It doesn't look very promising, but it's possible. Steve. Good morning, Steve. Alright, coin number 19 goes to Joe McBride. Coin number 19 to Joe McBride. That's a /5. So a /5 is going to be a normal die. It does look like it could be a little minor doubled eyelid going on there. If it is, I've got others. Because I know I've run into this /5 die a few times. Yeah, this is when I think I'm going to make the determination using my microscope instead of this. It's very difficult to drive under this thing and see everything I want to see. Hi, Jess. Jessica Roberts was my neighbor in Florida for years. How's the baby? How's Joy? How's my old neighborhood? Is everybody having fun? Is everybody eating breakfast? Yes, I do see extra eyelids above the original eyelid, and I've seen it a number of times. Of special note is one from 1937D. Another one for 1939. I've seen a few of them, though. A few different ones. Everyone's doing well? Oh, that's good. It's cold up here. Of course, I know it's cold there, for Florida anyway. But it's really cold here. Took Sherman out a little bit earlier, and he wanted to poodle around and sniff and look at things and sniff and sniff. I can see my breath. It's like 26 degrees, I think. Here's another one of the... This is the later RPM die. that we're finding. I believe it's die number 5 for the day. How do you get your name on these little pieces of paper? Well, there are going to be times. Are you on Facebook, Scott? Let me know if you're on Facebook. There's one way I sell the spots in these rolls. I sell the coins in the roll, then I open the roll. That's what's going on here. This is a 1957D. Check the reverse real quick. This is a 1957D original bank wrapped roll from the Fed Reserve Bank of Pittsburgh. And we just opened it this morning on camera. So we're seeing these coins for the first time in over 60 years. And they are coming out of the roll, going to their new owners. So Scott, if you go over to Facebook and you search Coppercoins, go over there and like our Coppercoins page. And when you go down and take a look at the posts in there, you'll see that I offered these rolls up on Facebook just a few days ago. And so we're opening them today. I think I offered them on Thursday. Hey, looky there. There's a nice doubled eyelid. So this roll seems to be full of doubled eyelids. Lots and lots of doubled eyelids. There's a big die gouge down there at the rim. That's huge. That's actually die damage. That's from the feeder finger. It usually just takes the coin and scoops it off and gets us ready for the next coin. This one took a big gouge out of the die. Of course, when you take a die and you flip it over to a coin, you basically reverse the relief of everything. So if it's a cavity in the die, it's going to be a hump on the coin. If it's a cavity on the coin, it's a hump on the die. That's how that works. Big old nice heavy die scratch running through the U of pluribus. A pluribus unum, of many, one. That makes me wonder sometimes how the Latin language was the one that survived everything, and nobody uses it anymore. Ho, Robert Adams. Eddie Jams. Eddie Jams gets coin number 22. Here's coin number 22. Looks like we've got nothing going on here. Take a look at the eyelid. And nothing on the eyelid. Slightly later die state die. This particular one, you can see that there's a lot more fuzziness, flow lines coming off the letters toward the rim. That's the nature of a later die state die. Those little molecules of steel on the surface of the die don't stick around. They actually move with the pressure of striking coins. When they move outward, they take with them the edges of the lettering. You can see that really clearly on the TR of trust right there. That's where those little lines that you see running toward the rim are called flow lines. And it's basically, if you think about rain on a windshield, and how that rain moves outward as you drive, well, as you mint coins, those molecules of steel are doing the same thing. They're moving outward. And with that, they take away the overall shape of everything on the outside edge. Oh, hey, take a look at that. Got ourselves a wrapper. Wrapper for Eddie Jams. It's going to get a Pittsburgh Fed Reserve wrapper. There we go. And Eddie Jams gets that Pittsburgh Fed Reserve wrapper. It's right here. It only has markings on it once. And people ask me, are these wrappers worth money? Probably not, but they're interesting to have. Hello, Jessica Johnson. How are you doing this morning? Is Iowa sunny today? This is, I believe, an RPM. Get tipped around to where I can see it better. Yeah. That's a interesting little south RPM, I think. Let me zoom in on this and take a closer look at it. Well, it's beautiful here today, too, if it would ever get cooler or warmer. Yeah, definitely an RPM. That's a nice one. Nice RPM there. You can tell it's not machine doubling because the surface of the doubling appears to be that it was placed there on purpose. It doesn't look like it was scraped into place. And probably if I flip it around like this, yeah, you'll see some doubling. D, but that southern area there, where you've got two D's basically melded together, that's going to be a nice RPM for you. Don't know what number it is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of the listed ones. So it won't be a whole lot of work to get this one taken care of for you. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we've got no hub doubling on the Liberty. We've got no doubled eyelid. So it's just an RPM. Heavy die scratch coming up off the 1. Another one coming up out of the 5-7. A bunch of northeast die scratches above the date. So we'll take it like that. Bunch of northeast die scratches above the date. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what we get as far as any errors or any other things are concerned. Hello, Miss Paula. Go get your coffee. It's only 7:30 in Oregon. Up early. I saw 7:30 this morning. The first time in quite a while. But I saw 7:30. And majestic down there in cold Naples, Florida. Where it's probably 60 degrees outside. I'd give for that right now. Alright, let's see what we got next. Ron fry. Oops. I put that... Where did I put that? Okay, that RPM belonged to Shannon McCord. We are running into a high number of dies for a roll here. But it's good because we're running into a number of RPMs and other interesting little tidbits. This one is the most minor of RPMs. It's not going to count for anything, but it is a very minor RPM. The RPM actually is that little thing on the very bottom left-hand corner of the D. You can barely see it there. It's just a little tiny thing. It's not going to count for anything because you have to have the light shining just right to even be able to see it. Under microscope power. 64 in sunny Naples, Florida. I guess that's, well, it's not normal, but it's not cold either. I mean, you don't want to be out walking around on the beach, especially if it's windy. That wind will go right through you. Standing out there on the beach with all that spray. Oh yeah, 64 would be nice. I mean, I doubt it's even 30 degrees here right now. Ron Fry gets the next coin. Ron Fry. Hey, so I need to go back and finish telling. It was Scott Sudreth what we do. Okay, this is one of the known RPMs for this particular roll. It's got that die scratch coming straight up out of the 7. So I don't remember which die it was. I'm going to end up just having to pool all these together and separate them under the microscope. Too many for me to remember. No, generally I do not get rolls on eBay. Most of my rolls are sourced from a number of specific connections that I have. That was a big clash under the chin. But to Scott Sudrith, sometimes I offer the spots in these rolls on my Facebook page, and then other times, you're probably very new to this process, we have auctions pretty much every Tuesday evening at 8:30 Eastern Time. They run until about 10:30 Eastern Time, and in that we offer a few of these roll openings called roll reveals. And basically what it is another really minor RPM. Basically what it is I buy original source rolls from places, or mint sewn bags, or sewn bags for the Fed Reserve, and I open them right here on camera. Open them live and start going through the coins. And for people who are interested, they can purchase coins out of the roll or bag before it's opened. So nobody knows what you're going to get. Nobody knows what condition the coin is in. It could be an MS-67 near perfect coin. It could be spotty and brown. You never know. That's because nobody ever knows when you get a roll what's inside unless it's been opened before. So you get your name on a card for buying a spot in the roll. Then I start going through the roll, draw names out of a bag at random. Bag. Name drawn out of bag. This is Midnight Silver Run. Put your name on the card. Next coin of the roll belongs to you. So we take a look at it. We see what's on it. If it happens to be an RPM or a double die, I will list it as such on the flip insert that you get. It'll have that RPM or double die number on there. If I happen to need to use it for photos for Coppercoins.com, I will put plate coin on the flip insert that goes with your coin, because that plate coin is now special because it has been used in a publication. If it happens to be a newly listed die, I will put newly listed die on there, new listing, and give you the date and month, or the month and year of the new listing. And if it's a plate coin, then it also has plate coin on it. Sometimes I get rolls from special collections or from special sources, and your flip insert will reflect that. Let's, for instance, here's it. We opened up a Treasury Department bag last week that had 1969 Lincoln cents in it. And this is the bag itself. And this is a row of the flip inserts that I cut. And then this is what the insert looks like. It says 1969p 1 cent unk from a sealed Treasury bag. And that's the U.S. Treasury there. So sometimes we have special reveals with special flip inserts. And we look at every coin in the roll, or every coin we say we're going to look at in that source. Takes about 1 hour to go through an entire roll. There's coin number 28. Yeah, I tell you what, we're on coin number 28 now. We're more than halfway past, or halfway through the roll. So I'm going to go ahead and cut over to a commercial break. This is the same commercials you guys have seen a number of times, but some of you are new. And so this is going to be a regular thing that we're going to do every one of these shows. Give you time to refresh, give you time to go get a cup of coffee or go use a restroom, whatever you need to do. You got about 3.5 minutes. Be sure to check out and subscribe to Mantic Coins on YouTube, where host Shay Hoffmaster takes you through a fun-filled tour through numismatics to include coin auctions, educational videos, live roll hunts, and much more. Come join in the educational fun with Shay. Search Mantic Coins on YouTube and subscribe today. The best in online auctions just got better. Now you can enjoy Coin Night live auctions twice weekly with the addition of CNLA Weekend Edition with your host, Jessica Johnson. All the same excitement and the same great deals with a new host and at a new time. Come join in the fun this weekend. And here we are back. Good morning, Shay. Show a Mantic Coin commercial, and Mantic Coins shows up. How does that sound? Should remind me not to do, well, never mind. Remind me not to do any commercials for the president. All right. We got our next coin. We're going to look at his eye until I get a name pulled. We've got a name pulled. It's Levels of Madness. Levels of Madness. We'll get the next coin in the roll, and let's see what it is. It is, I believe, I'm trying to get it turned so that it shows. Maybe it isn't. All right, we're going to zoom in real quick. No, it isn't. I thought for a minute we might have had an RPM, but we don't. It's a fun day for President Washington's birthday, that's right. Almost forgot about President Washington's birthday. So everyone, join me in singing Happy Birthday to President Washington. Nah, never mind. We're not going to do that. You don't want to hear me sing. Honestly. Ratings would go through the floor. I'd have more thumbs down than you would ever imagine. I think coin number 3 is RPM 1mm029. I appreciate that. We'll write that down. That'll be the first die I check for coin number 3. That's die number 2 for the day. Okay. I've got that written down. Thank you. Next coin's going to go to Ron Fry. Ron Fry gets, oh, that's the same die we just looked at. Same die we just looked at. Got all those little die scratches coming straight out of the east of the D. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what we get on the reverse of this one. Nothing big to mention. Oh, wait. Oh, JLB. Adam Chambers. Make sure you guys hit that like button. How about that, Adam? You come in, your coin pops up. And just like that, you walk in to me finding an RPM for you. This one is the one with the die scratch coming off the 9 toward the chin. Heavy die clash. I know it's one of the RPMs we've seen, but I can't remember which one it was. I'm not even worried about trying to remember one die from the next right now. I'm going to be going through all of these again. There's your clash mark right there. If you trace that, it's upside down and backwards to the throat and bow tie area. Because it belongs to that right there, the throat and bow tie area. That's what happens when you get a die clash. The dies slam together, leaving an impression of themselves on the other, and subsequent coins struck by that die pair show that clash. Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher, you're up next. Now serving. Oh, this has got a /5. This one's not going to be anything, unfortunately. We know that die scratch right there on the edge of the 5. That die scratch belongs to a die that doesn't have an RPM or any double dies because, well, once a die is created, it's been created. So if a die is created without a double die on it, it's going to stay without a double die until it stops minting coins. But you go through the process of striking coins, and eventually you're going to get scratches and cracks and stuff like that on the die that do transfer directly over to the coins they mint. So you've got a die creating coins that has a scratch next to the 5. Every coin that die mints is going to have that scratch until the scratch wears out. Well, all within one roll, they're probably going to be identical or close to identical. So given that, we can use that scratch to determine that we have seen a coin from that die already in this roll, and it doesn't have anything that we need to be concerned about. Yeah, see right there what I'm seeing looks like. Okay, got nothing going on in the mint mark on this one. Nothing on the date. No double die lid. We got no doubling on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse. Now, some of you guys just joining us might be saying to yourselves there, why are you looking at the reverse on 1957D? Nobody knows of any varieties on a 57D. Well, it's correct. But that doesn't keep laminations, cracked planchets, large struck throughs, and other things from showing up on the reverse of any one of these coins. Striking errors. Striking errors can come up on any coin, reverse or obverse. Oh, I didn't say seen. I never do. You can go back and watch it. I didn't say maybe I was joking, but I did not say seen as in part of my regular vocabulary because I don't do that. In fact, it's a pet peeve of mine. You say, I seen it. There's a double die lid for you right there. It's that little hump right out in front of the eyeball. Parallel with the eyelid. It's a little doubled eyelid. Yeah, I don't ever say he seen it or I seen it. I don't use that. Saw is the proper word, the proper verb to use there. We can go back and look at it after it's over. I don't use that kind of language, so if I did that, then it was a joke. Steve A. Oh, Mr. Dowdle. Well, there we go. There's a nice RPM for Steve A. That's going to be kind of hard to tell. Let's see, this one's got a clash. We've seen this die. We've seen this die. We have seen. That is proper. I didn't say we seen. I said we've seen. That's what it was. We have seen this die before. Because you don't say we have saw. That would be completely wrong. But I didn't say we seen this. I said we've seen this. My usage of that verb has been pretty much straight on since I was about in the 4th or 5th grade, because my mother was kind of good with language, really good with language, because she was a secretary for a corporation. She corrected all the other guys' stuff in writing when they would send out correspondence and stuff. This was before email. What is a strunken white? Shouldn't be drinking booze this early in the morning, Mantic. Makes your breath smell bad by the end of the day. The difference between using have seen and saw. Have seen is something that occurs on a more regular basis. We have seen snow before. We have seen this die before. It's recurring. Saw is a one-time past tense. I saw that. Oh, elements of style in writing. Now, anytime you use seen, it should always be attached to the word have. And you can contractualize. They've seen it. We've seen it. Or we have seen it. But it should never be used without the word have. Have seen is the verb. It's a two-word verb. Seen always needs the helper of have. Allegheny IPA. There you go, man. IV drip of beer. Trying to determine here. Okay, that looks like a little die gouge. It's not running the right direction to be an eyelid, which is kind of unfortunate. That's right. That's your English lesson brought to you by Coppercoins. I always wanted to do the voiceover for a telephone answering system for Coppercoins. Welcome to Coppercoins. For help in English, press 1. Para continuar en español, el prima estrella olla. What is that? That is interesting. Huh. Well, it doesn't follow the curve of the 9, so it's not a 9. Boy, that is interesting. There's another one up there. So you got something big and bubulous down here next to the 5. You got another one up here in the field. Let's see if there's any more of that stuff. That's strange things indeed. For sure. It's a huge gouge. Don't generally see them like that on the die before they just retire the die because it's just ugly. But man, that would be a marker for something, for sure. Huge die gouge next to the 5 of the date. That looks like a backwards 9. Levels of Madness waiting for recess. We'll play dodgeball. You get to be it. I was one of those mean kids. I'd throw the ball as hard as I could. Even at the girls. You're in my game? We play hard. Play hard or go home. That one's for Eddie Jams. I like that that strange die gouge. You are entering a realm where things are weird. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Well, it's definitely a die issue. We have another one. See, there's a confusing little look for you. You can tell if it's sunk in or if it's raised because my light's coming from the left. So if it's coming from the left, that means if the right side is lit up, it's concavity. If the left side is lit up, then it's a bump. So the thing on the left is a bump, the thing on the right is a hit on the coin. As I turn it around, you can see, there it is again. Top and bottom. Light's coming from the top. Got a concavity up above, and you have a hump down below. Kind of cool. I was kind of hoping for double dies in this roll. As it appears, not a whole lot of luck in finding double dies in this except for the doubled eyelids, and we do have a few of those. I was hoping for the nicer double dies, the ones that show in Liberty, because there are a number of those. I'm going to say at least 10 different ones. Tetherball? We had tetherball too. Didn't use it for much, but we had tetherball. I remember watching a couple of kids play tetherball. I never did. So you're from Texas. For some reason I thought you were from somewhere else. You just lived in Texas because, well, of course, then again, your mother lives nearby, so that should tell me you're from Texas. You don't sound like you're from Texas, though. Your wife does, but you don't. There goes my camera temporarily. Experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Let's see what we've got going on here. Nothing on that side. An extra little tail on a 5 of a 45D. You're talking about a nickel? I would actually have to look at it because I know a double die when I see one, but I can't even sit here and imagine what a 1945 nickel looks like. Just not in my realm of possibility. Oh, no. All the stuff that we played when we were kids, absolutely not. There's no way that it would pass today. Because everybody has to get a trophy. Nobody can get injured. Back then, we attempted to injure each other. So there's the V-shaped die scratch below the 1-9 of the date. So we know this one is a normal coin because we've seen one of these before. At least 1, 2, 3. And we know that this has quote-unquote nothing on it. Yeah, we used to do football. And when we played football, it was no pads, no helmet, full contact. We used to play baseball, and we did not have betting helmets, nor knee pads, throat pads, shin pads, and all that other stuff they wear now. And they're still out 10 games when they get a minor bruise. Alright, just had to check that one again real quick. That's coin number 41. We're moving through the last part of the roll here. Coin number 42 goes to Sissy Atwell. Sissy's still with us. She'll be able to see what's going on here. We got ourselves a little RPM. Little RPM. So this one could be one of the ones that we've been watching for. It's an interesting little raised scratch there above the 1 of the date. Moving on around. She says she'll take it. I hope so. Alright, nothing else there. Yeah. Can't spank a kid without worrying about social services, that's for sure. And we wonder why there are so many children who are completely out of control. It's because they're not taught respect. One way to teach a respect is to swat them on the bottom when they do something when they're little. And they learn that respect, and they treat you with that respect until they become teenagers. When they become teenagers and go absolutely crazy, there's nothing anyone could stop with their behavior. You just have to let them grow out of it. Hopefully, they come out the other side alive. If they do, they're very appreciative adults. But unfortunately, we haven't parented our children well enough to parent children of their own. I think that goes back a few generations, actually. We probably weren't parented as well as our parents were. They probably weren't parented as well as their parents were, and now we're talking about days from back in the Waltons where everybody said yes sir and no ma'am. And there have to be limits to what you do when it comes to disciplining a child, but there have to be limits to how much they get away with too. That's the way I look at it. Steve looking for silver. We used to play stickball. Now stickball for us was with rocks. We didn't actually have balls. That didn't come out right at all. We didn't have baseballs like, rubber balls or... Let me stop saying that word. Round objects with which you hit with a stick and go chase. Yes. Something like that. But with us, it was little flat sticks. And mostly round rocks. You'd swat the rock way up in the air. They'd have to catch it. There was no catch and you're out. When you caught it, if you caught it in the air, you just had a quicker reflex time to make a play. But it was never such that if you catch it in the air, they're out. Doesn't work that way, not in stickball. Not in our stickball, anyway. We had that sandlot type of attitude. Killing me, Smalls. Back when I was a kid, a lot of people have that house in the neighborhood they're afraid of because it is legendary to have, like snakes slithering around the living room. You don't ever want to get closer, you'll get bit or something, or people are really weird people living there or something. We had such a house down the street from my house where I learned how to ride bicycle on a dirt road. Yeah, I'm a country boy. Down the road from my place was a house that they had used. I don't even know what they're called, but it's some sort of... That's another double eyelid right there. Got a spot right on it, though. It's got spots. I don't like spots. But the sides of his driveway were lined with these odd electrical things that look like they came off of some sort of a Tesla experimental thing. And I thought they'd shock the hell out of me if I got close to them. So I stayed totally away from that driveway. And last time, this was the 70s. This was the early, mid-70s. And the last time I went and visited my old house that I had grown up in was about a year ago. And would you believe those things are still there? He must have buried them pretty well in the ground, and they were kind of unremovable. And it's one of those things, you buy the house. I'm sure the guy's not there anymore. But you buy the house, and it's like, well, they're already there, and they're kind of hard to get out, so, I'll just leave them there. And nothing on that side. Let's flip it over and take a look at the other side and see what happened. I'm still trying my real auctioneer talk. I don't think I'll ever get there. I just can't talk that fast. I do a lot better with my Bob Ross than I do with an auctioneer talk. That happy little coin lives right over there. And this one's going to go to Shannon. We got 3 coins left in the roll. The next one goes to Mike Birchman. Mike Birchman gets this one. Get a little sap green and phthalo blue. Mix them together on my palette just like that. And cut it off with a knife. You put it on your canvas, you just roll it on. Gosh. Look at the dye damage. Got some monster dye damage going on this roll. A few huge gouges. Gouges and swirl marks. Whoever did all this must have missed their coffee, right? Because they're like taking it out on the dye. Glad they don't run a grading service too. Submit your near perfect looking coin. AU50, get out of here. I had a bad day. Paul Hampton. But yeah, it's bright and shiny and doesn't have any wear. I don't care. AU50, get out of here. Don't forget to pay your $25 for your AU50. Hey, there's another doubled eyelid, I do believe. Yep, that's a doubled eyelid right there. And he's got the little boogers coming out of his nose. Looks like he's sneezing. Achoo! Alright. We still got 30 people watching us. We got 26 likes. Probably means there's at least 1 or 2 people in here right now who have not yet hit that like button. You hit that like button, make that thumb turn blue. Helps me out a whole lot. Yeah, so it was good that the mint, you know, with them abusing the dyes the way they were, it must have been having a bad day. It's just a good thing it's not a grading service, because if it's a grading service, they look at your coin. Look at the toning on this. Oh, baby. This is the last coin in the roll. It is the roll end coin. It is an RPM. And it is toned. And it goes to Steve A. Nice, nice, nice. Love that. I'll probably toss just a nice red reverse because it was tucked into the roll. Yeah, but I said the way they're abusing these dies is a good thing they weren't running a grading service, because I think the graders, when they have a bad day, they give people really low ball grades. So you took them a near perfect gem BU looking coin. And the frustrated grader who has a bad day says, AU50, get out of here. All right, we have... I'm just going to put all these together because we have so many different dies. It's really hard to tell for sure what was what, and I've probably missed a couple within the main batch, but I'm going to be going back through these before I do anything else with them. I've cursed myself with this roll because it's both a great thing and a hard thing at the same time, because I'm going to have to attribute all of these. So there's 18 coins right here that are known to be die varieties. 18 known die varieties. And then there are probably more on the roll, making this one almost a 50% hit roll. So there you go. We got 45 minutes until the next roll reveal comes up. The next roll reveal is going to be a 1963 D roll. It's going to be reveal number 83. Will be coming up next. And I got a few more minutes to sit here and talk with you or answer questions or whatever, because I don't have anything to do to get prepared for the next reveal. I've already got it prepared. So, the doctor is in. Does an MS-70 wheat exist, and do you own one? I don't think there's a 70, but there'd be a number of 69s out there. No, well, probably not a number of them, but a few 69s, and no, I don't own one. Have I sold spots for the other rolls I mentioned? I have not sold spots for any of the nice wheat rolls that I've got coming in, like the 1936S that will be coming in. There's a 44D, I believe, a 42D, I believe, and a few other wheats. I have not sold spots in any of those yet because I don't have them in hand. But the 7 rolls that are going to be sold today, that are going to be revealed today, most of those spots are sold and sold out. Let me go back in here and take a look at what I do have. Okay. There's only 2 rolls. Let's see, let me make sure of this. Short by. Actually, I want to do the message first. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I only have 2 rolls that are not completely sold out for today. One of them is a 1960 Philadelphia Pittsburgh Federal Reserve Raptor roll. And in that roll, I have a total of 7 spots remaining. And then in 1999, late tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, I'll be doing a roll of 1999 Philadelphia. We're going to be looking for the few double dies that are known for 1999, but we're also going to be looking for the white AMs, of course. I have a total of 9 spots left in that one. The 1960 Ps are $1 a piece. The 1999 Ps are $2 a piece. T will take 3 spots on the 1960. Okay. Get my spot to type here. Okay. Got Robert Adams in there. What are we talking about, Steve? I'm not sure which one. I've got 7 reveals today. I'm not really sure. On Facebook. It was late. Do you remember what roll it was? I'll just look and see if you're in that roll. Robert, you don't have an invoice for yesterday yet. So I'll send you an invoice after we get finished with this. Let me look at Facebook real quick. See if I can figure out what we're talking about. And Steve, if you can perchance remind me what role we're talking about, it'll help me out a lot. Let's see. Once he had left was on Facebook. I did after Pay with PayPal got home late last night. Okay, let me take a look and see. Because I had sold out on most of them. I know that. Because there's only 2 rolls that I didn't have sold out yesterday. Well, we have a guy doing Spanish in here on my thread. Let's see. Oh, got a guy who wanted 2 of these. So I can put him in for 2, but he has to register with me. Puedo comprar los pennies de 2020 de la casa D y nickel y dime. So he wants to buy pennies for 2020 D, nickels and dimes. I don't have nickels and dimes. Okay. So the 1970S roll is sold out. The 1960P. Aha. I see. I had 7 remaining. Okay, I just sold 3 of them to Robert, but I'll give you the rest. How's that? Yeah, Cuds R Us, that's what I'm doing. I was actually just invoicing people for the coins because as soon as I get this done today, I'm going to start working on them. And when I work on them, I'm going to get them finished tomorrow and get all the packages together and get them mailed on Monday. So, Steve, I'll give you the remainder of this roll. That puts us sold out on the 1960p. And the 1999. The 1999 roll, I have, what did I tell you? Got 9 spots left. 9 spots left at $2 a piece. Should be really nice uncirculated coins in that roll. Got a decent chance for some double dice. Got a decent chance, actually got a very remote chance for a wide AM, but gosh, imagine the money those are worth. And I have 9 spots left in that roll. That's going to be reveal number 88. It's coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. The 1960 roll is coming up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time today. That's reveal number 85. Oh, you did that one too. I didn't see that. You are correct. You came in after me. I was trying to keep up with everything. Sometimes not very easy to do. Okay. Oh, the 1960, you'll take the last of them. Okay, and let me check here. See, the 1999. There we go. Ah, okay. You'll take the last 9 of those. Okay. So then that makes us all sold out. All sold out for the day. I appreciate it, Steve. I'm sure I already sent you an invoice, so I will just send you a new invoice on these. Of course, there won't be any shipping involved because it'll just be put in with another package. So that gets us taken care of there. And I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it much. I'm going to go ahead and take off. I've got less than 40 minutes left until my next reveal. I'm going to go ahead and take a small lunch break while I can, because I know I probably won't get one after the next reveal. Got a couple of other business things to take care of. Joe, I will be working on that within the next week or two. I actually have to completely rebuild that book from scratch because the file that had that book in it was destroyed. A computer basically died on me, and I lost that little booklet because I didn't have it saved in the proper places to keep it from being destroyed when a computer went down. And so now I have to build the whole thing back together from scratch. It's going to take a couple of days of work, but I'll get it done. I'll get it done eventually, and I'm going to do another one that'll be for wheat cents, because that one covers memorial cents only. It covers from 1959 to date. And the new one that I'm going to do will be 1909 to 1958. All right, folks, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for stopping by. And we will pick this back up at noon Eastern time. That's 25 minutes from now. Oh, I did levels. But it was a different computer. This computer has a slave, plus it has a backup to an external drive. So it should work out just fine. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you guys in 35 minutes. 35 minutes from now, we'll come back for reveal number 50 or 83.